Welcome to Bias Bash. I'm Lauren Green. Hillary Clinton is facing tough questions from the press this week about her emails after a report released by the State Department Inspector General faulted the former Secretary of State and her predecessors for poorly managing email and other computer information. Clinton was interviewed by phone on both CNN and MSNBC. So, has the media provided fair and complete coverage of this report? Here with analysis is Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist and a Fox News contributor, Judy Miller. Welcome, Judy.
Hi, Lauren.
So, has the media been fair about this?
Well, they finally covered the story.
Okay,
the Times, with the Washington Post, and just about every newspaper in the country put it above the fold, as we say in journalism, and it was clearly the lead story. And the reports itself of what this 80-page document says are absolutely devastating to her. So, yeah, they covered it, finally.
But now, she told Wolf Blitzer that the rules back then were hardly a model of clarity. I mean, that seems plausible. Is that enough of a defense?
But the report itself deals with that and points out that the rules were far clearer when she became Secretary of State than they had ever been before, and than they were when other people were disciplined at the State Department for doing something similar to what she had done. So, if anything, that too was a lie, or a misstatement of fact, being charitable. Look, the fact of the matter is, Lauren, everything she and her staff have said about this email situation and how it was handled was contradicted in that report. It is a devastating document.
You know, the real issue, as I see it, is, did she purposely try to avert or, hide government business in a personal email? I mean, that's really what we're talking about,
yes.
Right? Has that been proven, or can you prove it?
Well, the State Department came to that conclusion when they published an email between Huma Abedin, one of her chief staff aides, and Hillary said, "I don't want anything personal coming out into the public," which is why she was using this system. And when two other staff people said, began to raise questions, not on her staff, but of the State Department staff, began to raise questions about the system, they were told to shut up and not to talk about it again. That, to me, and to the person who's just reading this report, a fair-minded person, would seem to contradict what Mrs. Clinton has said about it.
You know, one of the stories that came out, too, is that she almost used that platform to attack Donald Trump. The fantasy campaign has now become part of the news cycle because she went on and talked about the emails, but now we're talking about the fantasy campaign. Was that the strategy to kind of get the media focused on something else?
Oh, absolutely. It's classic, PR 101. If you don't want to talk about what you're asked about, change the subject. That's what she's trying to do. But I think the question I have now as a reporter is, what does this say about this parallel investigation that's going on at the moment, which is the FBI investigation into her handling of classified information? And that could be an even far more serious and politically devastating conclusion for her if the FBI agrees with the conclusions in the Inspector General's report. And we don't know that yet, but that's clearly a question that reporters ought to be asking.
How politically devastating could this be? And could it be enough to derail a campaign?
Well, I don't think the Inspector General's report in and of itself would do that, but I think it plays into the lack of credibility, the kind of crooked Hillary slur that Mr. Trump has used against her. It is sticking. There's evidence that it's sticking. Her popularity has declined in the past month sharply. She's now neck to neck in California with Bernie Sanders. So, yeah, politically this is a big deal. And, of course, the bigger deal would be an FBI referral for what she did. But we don't know that that's going to happen. We don't know that that's going to happen. We don't know the timing of that. But I do know that last week was a really terrible week for the Clinton campaign.
Very interesting stuff. Oh, I want to thank you so much, Judy, for being here.
Thank you, Lauren.
And if you want to hear more media analysis on the week's top headlines, catch Media Buzz with Howard Kurtz, Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern and again at 5 p.m. Eastern on the Fox News Channel. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.